Okay, so this is going to be a internal, in-depth review of the VLand headlights versus the Valenti headlights for the FRS twins, whatever you want to call them. Not about the appearance, whatever you like for styling wise. That's your call. A lot of people always ask what's the best type of headlight for output and uh, styling and quality. Well, we're going to go over the two most popular, albeit that's more popular in Japan and where it's available. Um, Looking online, I believe that's around $8.99 American. This is about 400. So price wise, that one's off the bat. These guys, I guess, part of the cost comes in from the importing. So, I'm going to start off with the projectors. These are old headlights. They've been around since probably 2013, 2014. That is when this style projector, which is, I forgot the actual Chinese projector. Whereas, for example, this is based off the Q5, which is similar to the Morimoto 4.0 and 5.0. This is the equivalent to a Morimoto 3.0. Very hard to get those anymore. So if you were to open these up to upgrade this projector, although it doesn't really need that much of an upgrade, it's hard to find a drop-in replacement. This projector itself is pretty good. My qualm about the back is that you can see there's a D2S nub there to hold the D2S bulb in place. However, right above there, there's a little slot, and that allows an H7 bulb to focus, to sit in there. So that's not great. That leads people to insert the wrong style bulb, whether it be halogen or HID, but we all know everyone's going to go with the HID. That leads to people not putting the return wire on the bottom. I've seen them break it. The slot there is for the return wire. People just jam stuff in there. That's one of the things I don't like about that projector. The output has upgraded significantly once we get into this projector. This is taken from that headlight, but it's currently having the lens being etched. Both of them suffer from a little bit of the not perfectly smooth chrome on the inside. That is by design. It softens the output a little bit, but it does reduce the output a little bit. You can easily swap a projector. The nice thing about these projectors is you can swap it with, as I said, the 4.0, which is now outdated and updated to the 5.0. You can swap it with the G5R with the blue lens, which is going to make it even more output than your regular clear lens. Or nowadays we even have bi-LED projectors. So the VLand headlights do offer a lot of upgrading capabilities really easily. VLand projectors are solely a D2S based projector. I don't know why the manufacturer says, oh, it can take an H7, because it can't. So this is the bulb holder. If we rotate that, there it goes, sits on the nub right there, and then that firmly locks in place. I'll do it right now. I'm going to pause. There we go. Firmly locks that in place. There's no way an H7 bulb can sit in there. It's just not going to work. And if you do, you'll have really shit output. And unfortunately, that's where it comes, where people say, oh, the VLANs have terrible output. Well, yeah, it's because you stuck a H11 or an H7 bulb. I've seen some guides on YouTube that have that, and they have like 30,000 views. I'm like, yeah, we stuck an H11 or an H7 bulb in here. And that really leads to people being misinformed, and they just don't know what good output is until they get the correct parts. So got to do our research. D2S and D2H will work. D2H makes it more plug and play with a aftermarket ballast such as the Hilux that I recommend. Going over to the daytime running lights and turn signals, both of them have a sequential turn signal. The Valenti's up top is white, on the bottom is amber, which is your turn signal. These LEDs up here, as well as this here, that's your daytime running lights, and the bottom is a sequential turn signal. For the VLands, that's also a sequential turn signal. Both use LED chips. That one is LED chips down in a reflector, and this uses the optics behind this lens. Both are bright. I like both of them. Two different ways to accomplish the same thing. Where we differ is on the daytime running lights. Valenti uses these LEDs on a board. It's all right. Spaced pretty far apart. Cost-saving measure. Could be a little brighter, in my opinion. But if you like it, you like it. It's similar style to how the Spec D boards work. This is their little tinted lens that goes around the projector in there. For the VLands, we have a LED board on here, but it's on this massive heatsink, which is going to help extend the life a lot. This is some hefty aluminum. I like to see that. Similar size heatsink to something I see in a BMW M4 headlight. So that's really good. This is used as just two LEDs up at the top, and then an optic acrylic rod that runs along behind this diffuser. Diffuser looks really good when you tint it with a frosting, and that's a very popular option that people ask me to do. Here's a little control board for the daytime running lights and the turn signal. Both of them use this internal resistor. Where is... Okay, we're going to take a hop to the internals of the Valenti. Alright, so they both use this internal resistor. This is to prevent hyperflash and make the headlights more plug and play when you put LED turn signals into the car, so that you don't have to do it. It's okay. If it fails, then you've kind of got an issue on your hand. If it gets too hot, things start to melt. Realistically, these cars do have the ability to swap the relay to an LED compatible relay, and that is underneath the steering wheel, and that's a much better option. But plug and play is the seller, so that's what they go with. These have the upgraded Morimoto projectors. You can see the tape is temporary, just holding that lens in place while the adhesive dries, so the etching doesn't rotate. Also getting a DMNI, but that's not stock. So, nice thing about this is it can reuse. I've added a OEM replica ballast onto here. Doesn't come with that, to my knowledge. So, it's unfortunate, but I do like the ability to have that on the bottom, and then all wired in through there. Alright. As for the quality of the lens, well, Valenti's supposed to be really good. These do have some spider cracks on it, but there it is. There it is. You can see it there. As with all aftermarket headlights, some are a lot better than others. Valenti and VLand both happen to be real good, but those could be really old, and I mean that happens even in OEM. With all aftermarket headlights, always put PPF on your lenses. That's definitely a recommendation. I think that's about it. You've now explored the inside of two headlights. You can make your own recommendations from here after learning about them. Hope you learned something.